Hello, everybody, and welcome. A little impromptu stream that I wanted to make to reply to my buddy FlameZombie1, Tyler, which I co-host a show on Thursday, so you should tune in for that as well at 2000 EDT, which is 8 p.m. Eastern time for American, called Dice and Design. And this week we're going to talk about how to make villains, but on his own channel. FlameZombie1, like Tyler, made a video about having fun in RPG, and I put the link to his video in the description below. Go watch it out. It was an interesting video, but I wanted to reply to it because I did disagree with it a fair bit, actually. And that's something I often disagree with people that talk about fun in role-playing game. And today I'm not going to be here like as a defender of the role-playing hobby or the TTRPG hobby. Now, I'm here to talk about a bigger picture. And I'm here to defend the concept of fun in itself. People are like, it's like a dirty word nowadays. Like in some circle of the hobby, it's like fun is a dirty word. But fun, there's nothing wrong with fun. What people misunderstand is that there are two types of fun. There's fun that come from doing the activity in itself, and then there's fun that comes from the outcome of the activity, achieving something. So it's intrinsic fun when just doing the thing in itself is fun, and extrinsic fun when what you get from doing the activity is fun. And sometimes, like when you into those extrinsic fun kind of activity, the activity in itself can be quite like you can fucking hate it, not enjoy it at all, but you enjoy the result, so you keep coming back to it. And at some point, that well, I might not having fun now. I might struggle, I might hate it, but I'll enjoy the result so much that it's worth it. There's a lot of things like that, and sometimes, obviously, you can have both in the same activity. Some activity are fun by themselves, and also can give you a fun result in the end. Role-playing game. If you're not playing a role-playing game, if you're not role-playing for therapy, if you're not paying your bill, like, and if you're not like Matt Mercer or something like that, you're not, what I mean? If you're not trying to find a mate, like find like a husband, like, sometimes we see those some women like trying to join a group because they have their side on a guy in the groups. Or if you're not like playing role-playing game for some other kind of like serious goal to fulfill some other need that you have, then I'm sorry to tell you, the only reason you're engaging in the activity is for fun. The difference may be that you're more into the extrinsic kind of fun than the intrinsic kind of fun. What you're trying to achieve something, you're trying to have like this fun at the end of the session. When it was a good session, you can look back into it and you'd say, oh man, that was fucking great. That was like amazing. You lived something. So you might have a different kind of fun than the people there like to roll dice, make out of character jokes, and laugh and stuff like that. But fun is still the goal of the activity. And like I'm more into the first category myself as well. Like I'm more into the extrinsic fun kind of guy than the intrinsic one. But I'm not saying that the people that are in the second category, just there to have fun, to share a few laughs and stuff like that, are wrong. There's nothing wrong with that as well. Like, and I'll talk a little more about it later. Well, actually, let's talk about it now. Oh, hello, Angar. How are you doing? Nice seeing you. Like, I will not say to somebody to find another hobby if they're just there, like to exchange a few laughs, roll some dice, make some jokes, hang out with their friend, because we live in a very individualized society. we're atomized as people, and that's not good. And any activity that gets you out of the house and gets you with people, in my eyes, is good. And any activity with your friend is good. Like I redid and can be fun as well. Like I redid my roof with one of my mate a few years back, and we had a lot of fun doing it. We're joking around and stuff like that. It's a fucking shit job. Roofing sucks. But when you're a good mate, you can still have fun doing it. You're not. It doesn't become like a so much a chore. And RPG RPGs are specifically good at that. And I explain why a little soon. But first, I want to talk about some other hobbies that Tyler mentioned, because Tyler in his video he said like, oh, if you're just in the RPG just to have fun, maybe you should look into other hobbies. And he mentioned like painting minis, and I like painting minis, but for me that's very extrinsic fun. I actually don't like the activity of painting minis. I like when the mini is done. Doing it in itself, it's not so bad, but like it's not something I enjoy. It's something like I just go through the process because I know I'm gonna like the result. And it's also not a social activity per se. It's something like you can do with somebody else, but you don't have to do with somebody else. You can just like you do it on your own at home. And also it can be costly. Like those miniatures are not cheap, and then you need rooms to store them, which is also annoying. Hello, crap phone. What do you say? Maybe some hobbies need to be more serious to be fun. And that is true for me with Wargame. I don't want to play ancient Wargame with fun, rule set, or social player. It's not a simulation. Go away. Well, that's the thing. Like, they might need to be more serious for you, but some other people don't have the same need. And at some point, it's just like finding the right group for what you're looking for. Those fun seeker are ruining the hobby, but it's maybe. And and like I said, like we're all in the hobby for fun. It's just, is it intrinsic fun or extrinsic fun? The intrinsic fun people are maybe they are taking something away from the hobby, but like I said earlier, now I'm talking about a bigger picture. I'm talking about society. It's important that men can get together and have those bound. Like we spend too much time alone, too much time in a little room in front of the computer and stuff like that. And I'm the one saying that I fucking live like a hermit. But I can, like, I can see a general trend without it applying to me. Hello, Tyler. I'm glad you're here because I'm about to destroy you. It's gonna be the complete annihilation of Tyler. I like role playing with serious role player, except on AIs with a good GM or paranoia. Yeah, that's a good example. Some people have fun with Arma, some people hate it. COD exists. Don't try to turn Arma into COD because they don't find Arma fun. That's the issue. I agree with that, but like that's the thing. Like what the way that people play at their table doesn't affect your table at all. At some point, like it's already like unless like they change like the rule set and they try to impose you, but you can play whatever you want. And it's not like if they change like a video game, stuff like that you have to play, like you cannot like fiddle with the rules on the fly. So other like thing that martial art, for example, I thought it was what you were saying about ARMA. I thought you like some people use the ARMA acronym instead of EMA, Ancient Renaissance Martial Art, something like that. I forgot. But martial art, unless you're specifically training for self-defense, which you're probably getting O's at that point. But martial art are very an activity that you do for fun as well. And oftentimes, like martial art are an activity that you do for an extrinsic kind of fun. You should do it like the fun that you get should be from getting better and getting more competent and getting fitter and stuff like that. Because if you go in martial art for intrinsic kind of fun, then that can be like just dangerous. Watching movies, you mentioned in your video. That's an intrinsic fun. That, like, except if you watch like some kind of like a weird fucking David Lynch movie and stuff like that. But watching a movie, you just sit there and you enjoy the moment. You're taking on a ride, and they're not social activity either because you're expected to shut up during the movie. It's very passive hobby. Video games can go both way. There are those games that are like more intrinsic fun. Like usually AAA games try to give you like a more intrinsic fun. That's why I fucking hate them. You just like sit there. You don't have challenge. They're too easy. Like I always trash on The Witcher 3 because like it's not that I specifically hate Witcher 3. It's okay. I got bored with it, but because it's not my style, my type of game. Because of that, because it's too easy, and they're just like you're just being told the story. That's very intrinsic fun kind of thing. You don't have a challenge in The Witcher 3. You're just there. You look at the scenery. It looks pretty. Oh, you fight. You kill the monster. There was really no threat there, and then you just keep going on. I like games that are more strict. Like if you look at the game I play, I play like Dark Soul, I play Hotline Miami, stuff like that. Like, and am I having fun while I'm playing? I'm fucking like stressed as hell, and I'm swearing, and I get upset. Am I having fun? Not really. Until like I fucking beat the challenge, and then I'm having fun. That's for me. It's very extrinsic fun. Actually, I don't have a lot of like intrinsic kind of hobby. I'm not a movie or TV show kind of guy. I don't know. I have hard time having fun in the moment. I like to be challenged. I like to accomplish stuff. Other hobby I have, like I like to do leather crafting. That again, I don't like the process of doing it. It's fucking annoying. Just like spend your time sewing, pushing the needle through. But then you get something nice that you made. That's pretty fun. I like building stuff. Same thing. It's not necessarily the process, but then when you look at especially when you build I got a fucking couch here. I built myself. My couch in my living room I built myself. And now when I go sit on the couch and I look at the couch, I always got this satisfaction that come back. Was it fun doing it? Maybe not, but I got some kind of fun from it. Lifting, that's also again like very extrinsic. When I lift with the crew, it's a little more intrinsic because then I'm there with mate and we can have a laugh. But yeah, Arma is a video game. I know, like I like the acronym, it's an acronym that stands for many things. But I know that I got the context when you mentioned COD. Yeah. Some people use fun to deflect criticism or shit technique. Yeah, and that's because like they're not there to better themselves. That's the thing. They're not there to better themselves in the game, but they're still getting something from the game. They're still getting something from the activity. Otherwise, they wouldn't come back. What they're getting from the activity is not what you are looking for in the activity. But people have different fucking motivation. People have different, people have different like people have, look for different things in sometimes the same thing, and we have to understand that. There's nothing wrong with that. We have to respect that in a way. And like I said earlier, because society is so fucked, I'll take every fucking chance I can. Like I support any fucking thing that help people get come together and build something together, even if it like kind of like get in the way of the way that I enjoy this hobby. I can look past me and I can say like, oh, okay, now it sucks because you have all those like players that are just there like for some goofiness and stuff like that. But I say, but you know what? Overall, it's a good thing because people need to get together. People need to stop sitting in front of the computer. And I mentioned that like RPGs are specifically good because like you mentioned, Tyler, in your video, like, oh, people can go watch movie together. You can have like dinner party. You can have you can like, yeah, build stuff. You can like, there's many things you can do together, like play board game, play video game, whatever. But I think role-playing game are very unique and excellent, even just for this like we're just hanging out with mate together without any kind of like without any kind of like serious commitment to the hobby itself. We just use the hobby as an excuse to socialize. I think that's great for that in itself. I think you can get more from role playing game, and hopefully at some point you will. But if that's all you get, I think that's still great. And while they're so great at that, it's about commitment. Because role playing, it's in part because of that. Because role playing game, it's something that you expected to do regularly. You know, you have this campaign, you come back every week or every month or whatever, depending on the frequency that you play, and you expect it to be there. If you say like, oh, we do like every other Saturday, it's board game night, and you come in and we play some board game, that is too easy to skip and to not go. And when we grow older, gets in the way, and at some point, it's good that you can put something on your schedule that say, this day I'm busy. I reserve this time because it's game night. I'm expected to be there. The other player are gonna need me. We do something that we build like week over week or session over session. So I'm gonna get. It's a commitment, and I think that is very good, because otherwise, like what happened? You say like, oh, you know what? Somebody else invited me to do something else on the same day, so I'm not gonna make it this week. But it's all right. I'll be back in the next time. You know what I mean? In those other hobby, it's too easy to skip, and once you start like missing once in a time, then you start missing regularly, and then at some point you just stop going. Like we see too many cases of people like in adulthood, like that say like they catch up with one mate, like they go, oh, we should do something sometime, and then they never do. That's like the fucking bane of modern existence. And role playing game is a cure to that to some extent. So there's that. What else I want to say? Also, like role playing game, it's something that well, they're cheap. It doesn't cost that much. Like one guy can get the book, whatever. You know, it's like they don't get much, especially for the number of hour of entertainment that you can have. So there's that. It's something that you can do after working 10 or 11 hour. You know, like after like you work fucking 10 hour on your feet. It's hard to go to the gym. It's hard to go do some martial art. It's hard to there's many, like you're not gonna go on a hike. You know what I mean? But you can sit with your friend on a table and roll some dice, and you know you can role play, maybe even if you can. If you're not cursing it, you're not immersing. Yeah, the video game you talk, I guess. Oh, hello, bonjour, Jackrabbit. Yeah, big true. Nice seeing you, Black Lodge. You say to Tyler. I played in a miniature tournament at the national level. Intense, serious game. It was some of the worst time I've had in the hobby. Every once in a while, it was fun, but not worth it. Well, but if you had won, then you would have fun. You just need to get good. Maybe social RPG need to be their own subgenre, subgenre name. Then you can play or avoid depending on your taste. Well, like I said, it's just like by table. Like we can play like the same game. One group, one table is going to be played like very casual, very just social. We just get around, we just shoot shit. And one table is going to get very deep in it. Like it doesn't like there's no cross contamination in a way. Like, you know, like what you do doesn't affect me. When you're ready to build like a little town up there in Canada, out away from everybody, let me know, Max. I'll be there with you, buddy. Yeah, man. That's something I've looked at a lot, to be honest. I always like look for on the lookout for those like 100 acre of land where I can like build my own fucking kingdom. It's not enough for me to win. You have to lose. Exactly. That's when that's the spirit, man. You have to be. You not only have to lose, you have to cry. You have to cry about it. Yeah. I would say that's great if you're all groups like that. Yeah. When one guy is there to goof around with friend, but the rest of the table wants to take it seriously, that's where the issue lie. You know, it's not that some. Can you hear the cats? The cats fucking going crazy. I don't know why. because I've been outside all day and now he missed me. But the issue is not about like, it's about misalignment of what the player in one group does. It's not about where the hobby goes as a whole. Like both can coexist. There's no issue there. Sadly, when playing French Napoleonic, I'm too much that way. Gotta watch myself. Yeah, I can get that way as well. I can that's why I much prefer like cooperative game, because when it goes competitive, I'm gonna play to win. Like I don't know. I just like, but in the same time, if I hinder myself and if I don't play seriously, am I disrespecting my opponent in a way? Black Lodge said to a Flame Zombie, yeah, everyone needs to be on the same page about what you want out of the game. Do it for fun or take it seriously. There's no middle ground. That's what I'm talking. It's about alignment at the table. But it's just like the same. It's just like all looking for the same kind of fun, but in the same time, we're all like I say, like none of us here pay our bill with that. Similarity, or maybe Black Lodge game since it's monetized. So I guess now he probably quit his job. Similarly, our man, competitive MTG is awful, but the kitchen table can be great fun. Yeah, you see, maybe there would be like some competitive Magic player that would say like, fine on our hobby, man. Nice seeing you, Nerdy Ogre. At least no middle ground for a group. Yeah, exactly. Meeting in the middle at the table just suck for everybody. That I big agree on that Black Lodge game. That's the thing. You have to find and that's Shauner always talk about social contract, and people talk about Decision Zero and stuff like that. That's what it's about. That's you look at people and say like, okay, this is the kind of game I want to run. I want you to take it seriously. No, there's not gonna be like fucking 80s reference. No, you're not gonna make like a out of character job. Max Gold, that's what I'm gonna do. In Canada, though, it's kind of suck because we don't have freedom. Yeah, it feel like playing with safety card, trying not to step on everyone's toe. Yeah, that's something like I fucking refuse to do. And that's also like some people I won't play with, because like if I have to self-censor, if I have to think twice about what I'm about to say because I don't want to offend you and stuff like that, if you're a little bitch, I don't want you on my table, because that's gonna get in the way of my fun, which is being a maniac. No, I'm kidding. But I just like, it's gonna get in the way of my immersion if I always have to, I think in character, but then I always come back out of character to think about if I'm not gonna offend you as a player. Man, go fuck yourself. You're not welcome to my table, and I'm not gonna join yours. On the subgenre, yeah, it's not the system, it's the play style. Label that exactly. Well, Max, this topic is useless because there's only one way: assimilate or be destroyed. Exactly. Like I've been destroyed already, so now like I'm just like trying to find my place in the ashes. I'm beating a dead horse with that. Yeah. That's $40 that YouTube owed me was definitely enough to quit my job. Maybe if you move to Uruguay, man, you'll be able to you'll be able to live off your YouTube brand. Yes, exactly. You have to have a Session Zero or social contract. Yeah. I've been doing almost all RPG just because it's mostly cooperative against the situation with a good GM. That I think is very important. RPG or cooperative experience. I don't like the adversarial GM. We play mini war game as well, but as I get older, the win is not self-gratifying now. Yeah, and sometimes also like when you play like mini war games, sometimes if you can put yourself some challenge and you try to do something cool, like some games, you got like this it's not I'm trying to win, I'm trying to accomplish like this move that's gonna be badass. But then you go back to the, I don't know, it's kind of that's off the pick. Then that's just the game a bit, but sometimes that's what you have to look for. Other thing I want to say about RPG, why they are very good for just this social fun, like just we don't have social skill like trying to do, so we just like play D&D to give as an excuse to get together. But even if that's what you do, even if you just like your game is always like out of character jokes, always 80s reference, always like this goofiness, if you put like fucking Muppet in your game, even if you have like the goofiest or crappiest game or whatever, it's still gonna mark you more than if you watch a movie together. It's still gonna mark you more than if you go play volleyball every week. You know, like in sports, sometimes something's gonna happen that's gonna be remarkable and that you remember. In RPG, it's gonna happen much more often, almost every session. Even if you just remember like this out of character joke that somebody did, even if you just remember like this, the goofiness of this situation, and even though it's not something that I look for, even though it's not something that I like in my game, I can still see there's something of value there. I think it's important that people can build those experiences, that can build those memories together. So I can see that and say that is not for me, but I think socially it is still a good thing. Even it might be a bad thing for the hobby in the way that I enjoy it, but as a bigger picture, I can still see that as a good thing. And if I need to sacrifice my hobby in the way that I like it and enjoy it for the betterment of society, yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll do it because I'm that kind of guy. And yeah, because you look at the Bro SR and they have like those all macho man Dolph, and I don't know, whatever, man. It's like they have like those like character with the name of a 80s wrestler, and then yeah, they had the Muppets and stuff like that. Like, yeah, that's not for me. It's too goofy for me. I want, but those people still remember those games. They still talk about those games, stuff like that. They got together, they did something. So there's that. You go like fucking go on a hike together, and then you talk to your friends. Oh, I remember when you went that hike. I said, oh, no, I wasn't there, man. Oh yeah, it wasn't you. That doesn't tend to happen in role playing game. So I think they're a good thing for that. Like they are unique. Like they're unique because like of this commitment that they expect of you. They are unique because they're still like a creative endeavor, even if it's crap. You're still doing something there. They're still you create memory with people. So there's still like a lot of good that come out of it, even if you don't role play, even if you don't engage on an extrinsic level of fun. You're still gonna get something that is more than many other hobby. Oh, I read that already. Angar say, I agree with you, Max. When I'm playing RPG from the time I sat down at the table to when the game start until the game end, I speak in character, I guess, and I don't want to have to worry about triggering someone. Yeah, exactly. Like you, and especially like if you play a character as a bit of an asshole, that is somebody from the medieval time, he's not gonna have the same view as you. He's not gonna have like modern ideology. I see myself in the younger player fighting for rules and interpretation that favor them at the moment. The competitive aspect is I with them, even antagonistic. I used to be that way. Oh, you're talking about the wargaming? Yeah. Uh, that they look like for their fun in the. That's when I do like those kind of thing. When I play board game and stuff like that. I guess maybe that's some like I. Sometimes I do play like competitive board game. I don't really play wargame anymore, but at that point I'm just like we're just there to have fun. We're just there to for the social experience. So let's not get bogged down too much about like trying to win. You know what I mean? I don't care. I usually win because I'm just good at games. Not video games though. I suck at those. Personally, I remember a ton of my martial arts and not much of my goofing around RPG days. But that's anecdotal. I'm sure if you were to rack your brain, you could remember like those story, like, oh yeah, we are playing this game and then like this happened, and you would look at it with the maybe disdain nowadays because all it's goofy and stuff like that. But I'm sure you would still remember it. Martial art, do you remember like at some point because like you go week after week, and I don't know, maybe it's different for you, but you go after week after week, you have those engagement with people, you do sparring and stuff like that. At some point, you start blending in. At some point, oh, was it with you that I fought this week? Was it with you that I did that? Oh yeah, it was with you. Oh, do you remember? And once in a while, you're gonna have like this memory, like something extraordinary that happened. But oftentimes, like in the training, in the like, it does start to blend in. Like maybe it's different for you, but from my experience with sports, that's what tend to happen. I'm a big fan of the negotiated role in RPG. The GM and player discuss the pros and cons of a situation and agree upon both odds to succeed. Then a role determines success. Anything is possible. Yeah, that's not something that I'm a big fan of because I think sometimes it takes too long. So I'm more a fan of like just player buy-in. On I said that before, and at some point I'll make a video specifically about that. When I GM with player that I can trust, I sometimes I like we often talk about like, oh, don't players should only roll when the GM tell them to, but sometimes I break that rules. But it's when we say like, if you like when you do music and stuff like that, understand the rules before you start breaking them, so you can understand and writing or whatever, so you can understand why you break them. Break them with purpose. Don't break them on accident. So there's a rule there that say the players should only roll when the GM told them to. That I sometimes break, and even like make your roll. You try to do something you think that deserve a roll. Make your roll, pick your difficulty, and just describe to me what's happening. Yes, Armand, the guys playing Warhammer casually are arguing over every move to try and win. Those guys play RPG, don't role play or joyless. They're not joyless. They have fun. They laugh. They tell joke. Because it's not just goofing around. And I'm talking about it's even worse when you have a rule lawyer. Yeah, but that again, the rule lawyer is there to win. So maybe like oftentimes that's what happened, and maybe RPG, because RPG is supposed to be a cooperative experience, not a competitive one. I think maybe this guy is in the wrong hobby, because if he's looking for his fun in the winning, then then that's not where you should have your fun. If you're looking for your fun and just like hanging out with a friend and shooting the shit, I don't have a problem with that, because I think that's a good thing in itself. But if you're looking for the fun in the role play and the immersion and stuff like that, that is great. That's what I want. That's what I like. If you're looking for the fun in winning, maybe that's the wrong hobby for you. So this one I would give you. Yeah. Oh, it's fun to try to win the game. Is it fun for anyone else, or exactly like you need to compare to consider the whole table. I remember every student I teach, I disarm for the first time with sword. It might be different. People's eyes light up, and like that's the thing too. When you train with sword, did I say that already? Like that's something that you do for fun. I assume that you don't expect to be in a sword fight anytime soon. So the only reason you can you do it is for fun. But it's not like if you're fighting with buffer sword when you're just trying to have fun in the moment. Now you're fighting with like steel, even though they're blunt. Blunt steel, they can still harm you. So you cannot just like try to be funny and just like otherwise you're just gonna have the ball and stuff like that, and somebody's gonna get hurt. So you're looking for this long-term fun of achieving something, of like mastering a technique. So you say, no, I'm not training for fun. I'm trying to master the technique. But why do you want to master the technique? Because mastering the technique is fun in itself. Because you get this sense of achievement and accomplishment. But it doesn't fulfill any other need. It doesn't fulfill any other need than just being rewarding because it was fun to master the technique. I remember the first time starting karate, being scared to hit the instructor. Oh, I definitely remember the kick I threw too hard and jammed my toe on this kid's rib cage. Yeah, but like I said, like there's always gonna be like there's always gonna be like a noteworthy event that you remember and stuff like that. But I find like, well, or maybe that's just me. I find that they tend to be more sparse. And someday, if you go like once a week, someday there's gonna be like nothing noteworthy. You come back from training, your significant other, if you're not an incel like myself, is gonna ask you like, "Oh, was it?" And say, "Oh, it's okay. Nothing noteworthy happened. We did that. It was fun." That's what you say. What I remember of early gaming, I remember crap GMs and waving rules in other player favor against and other players favor and against me. Yeah, it could have been well. When we realize we just want to sit down and shoot the shit, I call off the session. We just hang out and talk. But just hang out and talk, like, and I got mates I do that with, you know. I got mates sometimes that come see me, and then we can spend like hours and hours about talking about philosophy and theology and stuff like that. One of our friends sometimes was with us, and he hate being like he's friend with both of us, but sometimes he gets annoyed when the three of us is together. If me and this other guy we start talking, because man, you never fucking shut up, guys. But and like I said, if it's a regular table that tend to do this more immersive play, and in one session people come up and the mood is just not there, I get, yes, that's maybe a good move. You just say, like, you know what, let's do something else tonight. You know, let's play a board game. Let's just talk. Let's just shoot the shit. You got like you guys got stuff you need to talk about. You want to talk about. Let's just do that. I think that's valid. Also, you have to remember that a lot of people don't have much to talk about. Some people have like zero conversation. That's why they do those 80s reference and stuff like that, you know, because they don't have like they don't know what to talk about. They don't have like, they're just gonna repeat some talking point, you know, like NPCs. But if you sit them and you say like, oh, play this game, maybe it direct their like meaningless fucking chatter. What are you gonna do with those people? You know what I mean? Don't invite them to your table, but they still have a right to exist as people, as human being. And I'm not offended if they play RPG, you know, if they use if they partake in the same hobby that I like, because they need to do something, and maybe they're gonna develop more into an individual by hanging out with people and sharing memories. I don't know. Oh yeah, they trained this sword for fun in the 1500. Was it fun though? No, but that's what I say. In the 1500s, like there was this expectation that you could get caught in a duel, but this doesn't really exist anymore. So now the only reason you have to you pursue like sword training is really for fun. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't intended for that originally, but now it is. I'm not against fun I'm against fun as a shoulder deflection. Yeah, but I understand what you mean. And at some point, it's just like a vibe check. You know, you have to check people and say like, well, you know what? If you do that, you're gonna get more, whatever, like, or you're gonna be more immersed. So, and it's, oh, you know what? We're just having fun. Then just walk away. Just say, oh, if I, you know, then have fun. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're teaching martial art and somebody comes to you and say that, well, you know what? I'm just trying to have fun. And I say, man, you're gonna get somebody injured. So maybe go do some LARP. Maybe go fight with some buffer sword or stuff like that if you want to have fun. You're like, yeah, you're there because like the reward is gonna be fun. The fun comes later, comes through mastery. I think it depends. I'm naturally drawn to martial art. I can talk for hour about anything I do that's not work. maybe that's because like I'm you know, I'm quite into lifting. I coach lifting and stuff like that. Like, and I go to the competition. Sometimes I see something that's remarkable, but most of the time it just like at the end it just like blend in. Oh, was it you that did that? Oh, you know, it's like whatever. Maybe I'm just like not involved that much. And for me, if you don't have much to talk about, you're gonna run out of those notable moments in RPG session pretty quick. Well, if you don't have much to talk about too, I assume that the standard for what is notable is much lower than for you and I. You know what I mean? That's always part of empathy. You have to understand that other people are not you. You know, other people have like different goal, different interests, and think differently as well, different capability. You cannot project your own feeling on other people because they are not you and they don't think like you. Especially like you when you're like I told you, I think you're a smart guy, Tyler. I told you that before. You have to understand that most people are not. So you cannot like judge them by your standard in a way, and it's not like to look down on them because like we don't do anything for our intelligence. Like most of it like is inherited. You know what I mean? So there's no more value to it. So don't put yourself like superior or inferior because you're not smart. Like that's not where the value of a human being is derived from. But you have to understand, you see those people like that are, like I'm not a movie guy. I say that all the time. But I understand that most movies are not made for people like me. Because if they were making for movies for people like me, like they wouldn't make any fucking money because there's not many people like me. I'm like a tiny minority, like I'm on the edge of the bell curve. So they have to make movies for people in the center. So I don't get upset about it. And you have to understand when you look at those role-playing game, yeah, people that don't have much to talk about, they're gonna find like, sometimes like I hang out with some people in the gym and stuff like that, and they come tell me a story that they found like very interesting, and I say like, what the fuck, man? I don't fucking care. I don't say that because I'm polite, and I understand that, yeah, for them that's remarkable, but like for me, I'm just like, what are you fucking telling me about that? There's people I hang out with sometimes that often like complain about people like in the RPG hobby that goes too much into the weed and stuff like that and tell me all the detail and stuff. I don't care about that. Tell me about the big picture. Tell me about the concept. I fill in the blank myself. You know what I mean? I get it. But for some people, like they need to have every step explained. If you want to go to A to Z, we can make jump. I'm good with that. If you go like from A to B to C to D, at some point I'm just gonna fucking check out. I say, man, I get it. In RPG, let the player discuss option, strategy, and tactics to their art content. The best situation present good challenge, and we approach it like a game. It builds groups action. I like that when it's done in character. That's the caveat I would put here. I want the character. I don't want the player to talk tactics. I want the character to talk tactics and strategy and option. That's the difference I would make. But like again, that's what I want at my table. I don't fucking care what you own. Oh no, they can play RPG all they want, but when they get offended when someone say, "Hey, let's see about improving this." Well, if you go in, that's the thing. If you go at their table and you tell them that, maybe like that's something like I have to learn. I had to learn in the gym. Sometimes I see people lifting and I want to give them advice, and you kind of have to get the vibe because some people don't want to be like, some people like lift like shit, and you could help them, but they don't want to be helped. They, so you just move away. You just say whatever, man. Just like, all right, you want some? Do you want some tips? And sometimes they're gonna say yes but you have to get the vibe, so just ignore them. Find your own people. That's the main point I'm doing there. What I'm saying is like, yeah, there's those people that are just like, the main point of the video I want to make is like, some people are just there to have fun in an intrinsic manner. They want the activity in itself to be fun. They're not trying to achieve anything, to accomplish anything. If we also just doing it for fun. It's just that we look for the fun in a different place. We look at the fun in the immersion. We look at the fun in the accomplishment, more in the long term. But at the end of the day, like I said, we're not doing that to fulfill any other needs. Yeah. The strategies follow Myers 1600 is explicitly for fun. They were already using blunt steel, duel with longsword were pretty much out. Yeah, there was fun, and there was also like a kind of like a social status kind of thing as well. You like, at some point it was expected for gentlemen still to be able to fight. So you're à la plaisance all the way. À la plaisance. But you could use those techniques to defend yourself, of course. It was also about continuing the German longsword legacy even in the late 1500s, yeah. Oh, it's okay for people to do whatever they actually find fun. The point was, I think people would have more fun if they delve deeper into why they find it fun. That's something, like I do believe that. I do believe like you could get more, and that's why I have a role playing channel that I try to give advice and stuff like that, because I do believe you could get more from the hobby. But when you're gonna be like if you're looking for more, when you're gonna be ready, I don't have an example that come to mind right now, but at some point you're gonna be real dissatisfied from your hobby. You're gonna say, you know what? I used to have fun. I don't that much anymore. Well, maybe you did all the goofiness that you could. Maybe you went through all the out of character joke that you could. Maybe now it's time to look for something else. But until you're ready, I cannot spoon feed it to you. I cannot force you to enjoy it. It's like with I'm not gonna do it's like with sex anymore, because now I'm gonna go in non-consensual sex, and I think YouTube doesn't like that. I'm fine with ignoring people who don't play the way I do or have a different goal. If that person tries to tell me I'm doing wrong or bad, I will get triggered and shake and cry. That's a very reasonable reaction. You should always like fucking crawl in a ball and cry when somebody on the internet criticizes what you're doing. But that's the thing too, and that's also like because like you're also a very smart guy, Matt. I'm sure you know that. I'm sure you realize that. And when you say like when you say to people like you could get more from the hobby if you try to take it a little more seriously, go a little deeper and stuff like that. You try to help them improve, and people can see that as an attack. That oh, you think what I'm doing is shit. Like people are very binary thinker. At some point, we have to take the higher road and say like and tell them like, you know what? No, if you're fine where you at, I'm saying if you want more, here's a way you can get more. If you're fine what you got, enjoy what you got. But yeah, when you start saying like how to get more from your playing games, oh, you think like what I'm doing is shit. I say, well, maybe you do think that, but whatever, man. I think we just need to be compassionate. And it becomes frustrating that people won't even try. They deflect by calling you a snob or anti-fun, becoming super defensive. Tell me they know there's some truth to their hobby being shallow. Yeah, like I'm sure they know, and I'm sure they do feel attacked and stuff like that. But it can often come. What we say can often come as a criticism and an attack, and it's oftentimes like a criticism. But if people like react also like little bitch, we got time for bitch. You know what I mean? Here are some lifting advice: stretch more, stretch more. I don't believe in stretching. I don't mean people. I don't mean people table. I mean public shit on the internet. To me, if you put it on the internet, I'd want advice. To me, you put it on the internet, I'd want advice. To me, that's fair. I mean, if you put yourself on the internet, you're open for criticism. Now you became fair game. So don't put yourself on the internet if you're not willing to take criticism. For me, that would be like a common sense. But common sense is pretty rare nowadays. So people like put themselves on the internet and then they get attacked or they get criticized and they react badly. And like again, it's just like about like compassion and empathy, and understand that some people are just fucking dumb. And you won't fucking train somebody that got a 90 IQ to do like quantum mechanics math, like whatever, like quantum physics. You know what I mean? At some point, you have to understand the limitation of somebody and say, you know what, enjoy what you do, man. I'm proud. I'm glad for you that you're having fun. And it's not about looking down on them. It's just about like we have to understand that we're all different and we look for different things. And in some aspect, like there was like I used to work with this guy when I was doing some construction work. And he wasn't a very smart guy, but a very good guy, like a very good art and stuff like that. I liked him a lot. And so, and now there was another colleague I was working with, quite a smart guy, and we often talk, like we're on lunch and we talk about like geopolitics stuff and stuff like that in the news, and we talk about a lot of bullshit like that. This guy was sitting next to us and said, "Man, I feel ignorant when I talk to you, when I hear you talk about this shit. Like you all like talk like you know all this thing." And say, and I look at him and say, "Man, I know very little about cars, right? And you know a shit ton about cars. I need to buy a car every few years, but I will never have any fucking impact on geopolitics, you know? So, yeah, I know a lot about that shit, but it's fucking useless knowledge to me. It's just like masturbatory. You know a lot about a car, that comes in regularly because now not only you can buy a car and not get screwed, but when I want to buy a car, I'm gonna fucking ask you advice. You know what I mean? So we have to understand people like different in their interest, different capacity, different like I don't know, man. Just like we have to at some point you have to piss with the cock you got. You know what I mean? And we have to understand that other people have to piss with the cock they have. My favorite type of advice is off topic. Hey, how can I adapt this connector? Buy a whole new stereo. Oh, I fucking hate that, man. I fucking hate that. Why do you own a Clips? Clips used to be good, no? I know how to not have fun. Mention something about actual history. Every player in the RPG is a history expert and will come back with, well, actually, and then it become a history pissing contest. Fucking nerds. Yeah. True. Oh, crap, Fonse. Yeah, that's true. Fine line between history pissing contest and what would make sense in the world they're in. And do it all outside the game, for Christ's sake. Yeah, exactly. Outside the game. I used to be that guy and go, really, his sword is going straight to my full plate. Yeah, at some point you have to understand that that's a game. You know, it's on you to justify it. If you know more about that topic and doesn't make sense, find a fucking reason it makes sense and justify it for yourself. When did this become an episode of Vaginal Monologues? Compassion? Well, I'm a very compassionate guy. As they say, man up. Yeah. I think that's good advice for every man. If you put it on the internet, you have to accept comments. Exactly. Like, you know, like if you just want to talk about the game with your mate in private, do it in fucking private. If you do it in public, well, then you're out for public consumption. You don't believe in stretching? That's odd. Yeah, I don't believe in stretching. Positive and negative comment. Exactly. Yeah. Gotta stretch after the workout though. Don't want to tear something. Nah, I'm fine. No, I stretch. I stretch when I go for a run. I don't stretch for lifting really, except for squat because I need to open up my hips. But because I'm stiff and because I'm an old man. But on bench and deadlift, I warm up. So I start with like a light weight and I go up to my working weight, but I don't stretch. What my grades aren't good enough to go to Oxford. That elitist, exactly. You're just like that's how people like. And nowadays, man, that's a fucking problem with university nowadays. Like now, like they try to make it available to everybody, and they try to commit some historical wrong. Like anyway, man, just like so. But yeah, and it's and there's no shame in that. Like that's not okay. Now we're going off topic, but because of that comment, I want to say that like a couple of years ago when I was still living in Quebec, there was like an election coming up, and they were talking about like the price of university and stuff like that. And somebody said like, "Oh, we cannot afford to not have as much people as possible go to university." I said, "No, man, shut the fuck up. Not everybody need to go to university because now you do that, and now having a bachelor degrees is fucking worthless. It used to mean something, but now you go to university and the fucking class are so fucking retarded that you're just paying for nothing. So by trying to make everybody be able to go to university and having this mention that we need the society is going to be better if more people, it's like if you think that getting people diploma is going to make them smart, just giving them when they're born, you know what I mean? It's fucking retarded. It used to mean something, but now they do that. And you also need people that's going to do like construction. You also need people that are going to do like sanitation. You also need those people. And when you say like, we need, no, it's good value that everybody should go to university, you also kind of devaluate those jobs as well, in a sense. You know what I mean? Like you say like, What, you couldn't go to university? Society would be better if you would go to university. Now you're gonna fucking have like people go to university to pick up trash. You know what I mean? It's fucking that's something that fucking bothers me. You know, I hate this looking down on those manual labor because they're fucking necessary. We need them. You know what I mean? And there's something noble to it as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe don't go on a and make 70 comments an hour of video because they don't like their video. Who would do that, man? That would be very unhinged behavior. What ethnicity are you? Your grade might be good enough. That's that we see that a lot nowadays. You want a 10,000 Mazda RX-8 with 90 miles, owned by 40-something woman who goes, when you ask her about the rotary premixing. I know some of those words. Man up always, exactly. Stretching is fake and gay. Yeah. How are you gonna hit those iron kick and rolling bolos without stretching? Well, that's the thing. That's not what I do. I just lift weight. When you need to have a pre-university reading course, you shouldn't be there. Man, that's something I went to. At some point, I studied to be like a French teacher. It was very short-lived because I fucking bailed out of there like very quick. And you go to like to those university class, and then there's like a technology of education. And you go to the class and teach you how to create a folder with 2 subfolder on Windows. And you're there like, fuck, everybody should know that. If you're in university, you should know that. I say that to we cannot assume that everybody come with the same baggage. I say, if you don't know how to create a subfolder with 2 subfolder on Windows, fucking take night class before you go to university. Learn that there. Then you go to fucking university. You know, it's like fucking insane. But that's the modern education for you. We can't afford to have anyone go to university now. I think it should be like much less people go to university. All it does is give people brain damage. Very true. Yeah. When everyone goes to college, no one's want to flip burger, collect trash, cut grass. Exactly. Like, and they think now they're above that, and they went to fucking college and they studied like fucking crap thing. You know what I mean? That make no fucking sense. So yeah. And yet we find the money to subsidize Chinese graduate student. Yeah. You literally need one college to become a garbage collector in Ontario. Really? Really? I didn't know that. I never tried to become a garbage collector. Anyway, that's what I want to talk about tonight. We went quite off topic, but what I want to say is like, even if you look for a different type of fun in your role-playing game, one that is more extrinsic type of fun, one that comes from the reward of having immersion, having a good role-play session and stuff like that, you are still looking for fun. You're not looking for the laugh. You're not looking for the outside the character joke. You're not looking for the little like the 80s reference. I always come to that because that fucking like 80s nostalgia need to be stopped. It's a whole fucking time high, and you need to be like smarter. But if you're not looking for that, you know, like you're still in your way because you're not playing RPG to fulfill any other kind of oh, nice seeing you, Bear, by the way. I just like put your comment up there and I didn't like acknowledge your presence. But you're not playing RPG to fulfill any kind of other need. You know what I mean? It's something that we do for the experience itself because we enjoy it. So you're doing it for fun. And other people are gonna have like fun in different way. And it's just about like finding the right people that our way of having fun align. And we have to understand that other people are gonna look for different way of having fun. And for some people, our way of having fun is never going to be accessible to them, and that's okay. You know, we should not like let fucking look down upon them or anything. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, take people as they are, and you don't have to associate with them, but you also don't have to trash them for no reason. 1 year in college to become a trash collector. That's fucking insane. That's the end of the video. Now I'm just gonna. I went off topic quite a bit, but now I'm just going to interact with the chat a bit. So if you're watching on the replay, You can. There's no genre if you're reacting to that. I'm just interacting with the chat now. My friend doing CNC machining with no degree makes almost double what I do with a bachelor and a minor. These are a good job, CNC and stuff like that. Yeah, and I don't have another saturated degree, technical writing. I was proud when my daughter got good grades. I was proud when she refused her uni place to go to an apprenticeship. Man, apprenticeship are the shit, man. We That's something we need more to. I'm like, I'm quite against school. I'm open about that. She'll be on a 40,000 pound when she's 22 and have no debt. Man, that's worth a lot. Having no debt is so like this fucking debt is such a scam. But if you what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I'm quite against schooling because I think it's kind of like a silly thing to do. Like I often say, like the human body, it's like use it or lose it or waste it. You know what I mean? And now we just like take the children when their body is forming and stuff like that, and fucking have them sit for like hours a day, and then they come and go back home and sit to in front of the TV, in front of the computer, stuff like that. Stop sitting so much for fuck's sake. Especially when you're young and you're growing up and stuff like that, your body's forming. Give some challenge to your body so it can form properly. But what I was saying, yeah. So I think like children should be let free much more, but also like fucking learn something useful, and then you'll learn to read, you'll learn to count and stuff like that as you do something else. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's gonna make sense because it's gonna be in some context. I would change a lot in society. I worked the last few years of my career as building maintenance because I knew shit. I work alongside people with doctorate degree, and I earn the same or more than they did. It's also about value. Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of people with doctorate degree that don't contribute anything. Yes, that's what I wanted to evoke with the video. The fun is to be found in different place. Fun isn't fun. Yeah, and it, like I said, it goes both ways as well. Like we have to understand that what we find fun might not be what they like. Where we look for the fun might not be where they look for the fun. And ideally, they would understand that as well, but maybe they can't, and that's okay. I sound like very fucking elitist. I sound like a fucking pretentious fuck now. But it's about loving your fellow men, taking them as they are. Or man, I work building maintenance because my writing job isn't consistent enough. Oh yeah, I did. So I did some when I was young as well. I did some maintenance and fixing stuff. Like it was like apartment building. So then when people moved out, you go and clean the shit and you fix the hole in the wall and stuff like that. I did that quite a bit when I was young. Watching a scary movie isn't fun in the colloquial sense, but can be quite enjoyable. Yeah, exactly. The fun comes from somewhere else. Well, I guess it's the thrill. It's thrilling. No to genre. Genre isn't coming. No, because genre sometimes react to my video, and sometimes I'm gonna go for an hour or so, but like the last 20 minutes is gonna be me reacting to chat and stuff like that. And then they say like sometimes I'm in chat with him when he react, and I say yeah. At this point, I'm just like I'm done talking about a topic. I'm just like hanging out with a chat, so you don't have to watch. There's no more content to react to. Oh, genre to reacting to me. Yeah. If we're lucky, the video will be done by Christmas. It's gonna be another 5 hour. I learned that I love violent physical activity to spite teachers I hated. Yeah. I used to like now I'm a little man, stuff like that, but I used to like a violent activity, like you would say, because that's what I grew up in. That's what I knew. That's what I was good at. Make yourself variable at whatever you do. Yeah, make yourself needed. Be useful, for fuck's sake. Be useful. Like I'm the one saying that, and I'm a neat. I'm an incel neat. So, but usually it's good advice. Be useful, but like I said, if you know the rules, you can break the rules if you know why. You know what I mean? So if you don't just follow the rules, be useful. That's the rule of thumb. But I understand it, so and I can decide not to be and be a neat. Sanctioned violence would make so many more young men sane. Man, yes. Like that's part of the okay, I can talk about that. Would that be interesting of you? Did I talk about that before? We There's this expectation at some point like men will grow up, right? You're gonna leave those boyish thing behind. We don't have the same expectation for women. Now a bit more because we try to have women to become men. But for a long time in history, there was this since the Industrial Revolution, there was this thing that at some point you have to stop being a boy and become a man, right? The reason for that is the Industrial Revolution. We didn't used to have that because play is meant to prepare you for the thing you're gonna do as an adult, right? And what do boys like to do when they play? They like to build stuff sometime, but they like to fight. They like fighting with stick and playing war and stuff like that. And that used to be for many people what you would expect it to do when you grew up. Girls, when they like to play with doll, they like to play house and stuff like that, and that's what you would be expected to do when you grew up. And that lasted for a longer time. But at some point, when the everything become like mechanized and then industrialized, there is this there's been this break, like the Caesar between like what you would do as a boy that was supposed to train you as an adult man, to now, okay, now those boyish thing around, stop playing war, stop fighting with stick, and go in the fucking factory for 12 hour a day. So you had to put your those childish dream behind. Did I talk about that before? I might have talked about that before. Because that's maybe I talked about that before. Did I talk about the? Maybe I didn't talk about it live. That's why you have like a Peter Pan. You have the Lost Boys, and now when they make the remake, they put like girls in the Lost Boys, and that doesn't make sense because that's the point of the Lost Boys. Because like Peter Pan is like industrial revolution society, and even if the author didn't intend that, that's what it meant. That's still what it meant. Like, you have those boys that refuse to grow up, and what they do play pirate, they do play fight, they do play adventurer, explorer, and stuff like that. Those things that men were expected to do. But now you're an industrial society where you're supposed to put those things behind. But the woman, the girls, they don't have to put their childish dreams behind because they used to play doll, they used to play house, and then they go on and become mother and housewife. So they do what they train themselves to do as adult. But now you are like this industrial society where the expectation for men was changed. So there was like this break that you had to do. And now the story is about those boys that well, I'm talking about that. I forgot what was going on. Sanctioned violence would make more. Yeah, exactly. So we are the nature species, basically. We have this violence in men, and we don't know how to. And now, like, we're trying to make like women, we're trying to make girls boys, and we're trying to make men women. But whatever. Yeah. Hello, Rex. Still now, like I'm the off-topic part of the stream, but we're talking about having fun in RPG, and you should. It's all about having fun. Apparently, I have to go back and watch the start after I have no idea what you're all talking about. Well, like, that's the thing. Like now, like I went off topic and I rambled, but yeah, you should go back and watch the start. I drive myself crazy thinking about my fellow man. Yeah, that's I think about a lot about that. I care about my fellow man. I might not look like it, but I do care, and maybe part of the reason why part of the reason why I live alone is because I live as an hermit is because it make me sad to see the fate of my fellow men and how they're mistreated by the people that should care of them. This elite that or the ruling class that's supposed to be, this noblesse oblige, where they're supposed to take care of the people under them, but now they just abuse them for their own. It makes me sad, and especially when I see that people don't see it. So I remove myself. There you go. You know something about me now. I didn't see the start out of a bear. I just watched it in 10 minutes ago. Yeah. Like the fucking content is like in the first 10, 15 minutes. Chat gets me off topic. It's a toxic trait, as the blue air say. Yeah. Someday I will enjoy the neat life. Hopefully you can. True of all things, the old swordmaster break their own rules all the time. Exactly. But you need to understand why. We should talk about that together. 100%. Men now don't know how to defend themselves or their woman. Fuck, they're scared of knife. Yeah, exactly. We should do a video about that if you want. I have a video idea inspired by L actually on this, on how RPG actually can help you or martial art. Oh yeah, I remember that you talked about that. Like RL commented about that. I stopped a guy from beating the shit out of this chick at work today. Why, man? Okay, sorry. That was like my just by being there and having a straight back. Oh, the knife in my belt is probably helped a lot. All right. I think I'm gonna wrap that up unless you have like other thing. But like, yeah, I've been like past an hour now, and like, yeah, that's fucking like 10 minutes of content, and then like 50 minutes or an hour of like shooting the shit. But I got stuff to do tonight, so I'll I'll let you go, guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you on, I guess, on Thursday next time I'll be on for my show with Tyler, Dyson Design. We're gonna talk about how to make villains. And so it's going to be 2000 EDT, which is 8 p.m. Eastern time for American, on this channel, and it's going to be multi-stream on Tidal channel. So if you want to watch from there, that's fine too. You know, that's why we allow the multi-stream. And see you soon, guys. Take care.